Have you ever wondered why some superfoods might not be so super for your kidneys? Vegetables like spinach, Swiss chard, and sweet potatoes are packed with nutrients, but for kidney patients, they can be a hidden danger. When it comes to kidney health, making the wrong choices can have a big impact. So, which vegetables should you watch out for? In today's video, we'll uncover the 10 worst vegetables for kidney patients and why they can be harmful. But don't worry, it's not all about the worst ones. We'll also discuss the best vegetables for kidney health, share tips to protect your kidneys, and even include some easy, delicious recipes. So, stay tuned. Number 1. Beets. Did you know that beets and beet greens can be harmful to people with kidney disease or a history of kidney stones? This is because they are rich in oxalates, natural compounds that help plants regulate calcium. But in humans, excess oxalates can lead to calcium oxalate kidney stones. Have you ever been told to limit high oxalate foods? If so, beets might be on that list. Another concern is potassium. Did you know that 1 cup of beets contains around 450 milligrams of potassium? That's about 11% of the daily value for most people. Potassium is essential for muscle and nerve function, but for those with chronic kidney disease, too much can be dangerous. When kidneys don't work properly, potassium builds up in the blood, leading to hyperkalemia, which can cause heart problems, muscle weakness, or even paralysis. So, should people with CKD or kidney stones eat beets? The answer is yes, but only in moderation and with the right preparation. If you have kidney disease or a history of kidney stones, it's important to limit portions and choose cooking methods that reduce oxalates and potassium. How can you do that? First, eat smaller portions less often. Avoid consuming beets daily or pairing them with other high oxalate foods. Second, pair beets with calcium-rich foods. Why? Because calcium binds with oxalates in the digestive tract, reducing the risk of kidney stone formation. Try eating beets with yogurt, cheese, kefir, or cultured butter. Another option is boiling or blanching. Did you know that oxalates are water-soluble? Boiling beets and discarding the water can lower oxalate levels, but keep in mind that some B vitamins will be lost in the process. Want a better way? Fermentation is a great alternative. Fermenting beets, as in sauerkraut, kimchi, or beet kvass, not only lowers oxalates, but also improves digestion. But always check with your doctor before adding beets to your diet, especially if you have chronic kidney disease or kidney stones. Number 2. Potatoes. Potatoes are a staple food, but are they safe for kidney patients? The answer isn't simple. While potatoes are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, they also contain high levels of potassium, which can be dangerous for those with kidney disease. A small potato can have over 700 milligrams of potassium, and a medium-baked potato with skin contains 926 milligrams. So, does this mean you have to give up potatoes completely? Can you still eat potatoes? Yes, but you must prepare them the right way. The best way to reduce potassium in potatoes is by boiling them. Did you know that cutting potatoes into small pieces and boiling them for at least 10 minutes can remove over 50% of their potassium? Even after boiling, a half-cup serving still contains 100 to 200 milligrams of potassium, so portion control is important. Another option is soaking potatoes in water for several hours before cooking, which can also help lower potassium levels. What about French fries and chips? Fast food and processed potato products may seem convenient, but they often contain even more potassium. A small order of fast food fries has 470 to 510 milligrams of potassium, while a supersized order can have 1,210 milligrams, more than half of the daily potassium limit for a kidney-friendly diet. Potato chips aren't much better, with 265 to 495 milligrams per ounce. So, are these snacks worth the risk? Only if you eat them in very small amounts and stick to properly prepared potatoes. So, if you love potatoes, you don't have to eliminate them. The key is boiling, soaking, and watching portion sizes. Number 3. Spinach. Spinach is often praised as a superfood, but for people with kidney disease, it might be one of the worst choices. A half cup of cooked spinach has 755 milligrams of oxalates and 420 milligrams of potassium. When cooked, spinach shrinks, making each bite even more concentrated in these compounds. Does boiling reduce potassium and oxalates? Boiling spinach reduces oxalates because they dissolve into the cooking water. This can lower the risk of kidney stones. But does boiling also remove potassium? Not in the same way. While some potassium leaches into the water, spinach remains a high potassium food, even after boiling. Blanching, briefly boiling, and then cooling removes less potassium than prolonged boiling. But does this make spinach safe for kidney patients? Not really. Even boiled spinach still contains more potassium and oxalates than most other vegetables. So, if you have kidney stones, even boiled spinach can be risky. You might eat a small portion occasionally, but only with calcium-rich foods like yogurt to help block oxalate absorption. Still, is it worth the risk? Probably not. Lower oxalate greens like arugula, bok choy, or mustard greens are safer choices. Number 4. Tomatoes. Have you ever wondered that an everyday vegetable like tomato can be bad for you if you have kidney disease? Yes. Tomatoes are actually high in potassium, and as mentioned earlier, managing potassium levels can be stressful when you have kidney disease. So, should you just avoid tomatoes? Not necessarily. Many high potassium foods can still be included in small amounts, providing important nutrients and flavor. But how many fresh tomatoes can you eat? If your potassium levels are stable, one medium tomato of around 80 grams per day is usually safe. You can enjoy it in a salad, sandwich, or cooked meal. But should you eat tomatoes at every meal? No. It's best to limit tomatoes to once per day to keep potassium intake balanced. If your potassium levels tend to be high, you may need to cut back to 1 to 3 times per week. Now, let's talk about the canned tomatoes, a common ingredient in cooking. But are they safe for a kidney-friendly diet? The good news is that a quarter of a 400-gram can of chopped tomatoes provides about the same potassium as one fresh tomato. Since canned tomatoes are often divided into multiple portions in a recipe, they can be included in moderation. But what about tomato juice and tomato puree? Just a small amount of tomato puree contains as much potassium as several fresh tomatoes. That's why kidney-friendly recipes often reduce or omit other high-potassium ingredients to make room for tomatoes. But is tomato juice safe? If you need to lower your potassium, it's best to avoid tomato juice altogether. The bottom line is that if you're on a potassium-restricted diet, avoid tomato products. Plus, you can add 2 to 3 slices of tomato or a few sliced cherry tomatoes in your salads and sandwiches. Number 5. Parsnips. Parsnips are a white root vegetable similar to carrots. But did you know they are high in potassium? 1 cup, or around 160 grams, contains 570 milligrams of potassium, which is a significant amount for people on a low potassium diet. While potassium is essential for heart health, those with chronic kidney disease or on blood pressure medications may need to be cautious. But does that mean you should avoid parsnips completely? Parsnips are often used in soups, stews, and roasted dishes, especially in colder months. Their naturally sweet, nutty flavor makes them a popular addition to meals. But if you have chronic kidney disease, should you skip them entirely or just limit your intake? If your doctor has recommended a low potassium diet, you may need to limit parsnips rather than avoid them completely. For most people with chronic kidney disease, a small portion, about half a cup cooked, can be included occasionally. But how can you safely lower its potassium content? Yes, boiling parsnips in a large amount of water for at least 10 minutes can help remove some potassium, just like with potatoes. Cutting them into small pieces before boiling allows for even greater potassium reduction. However, roasting or steaming parsnips does not lower potassium levels. Parsnips are nutritious but high in potassium. If you have chronic kidney, limit portions, boil them first, and avoid frequent consumption. Number 6. Navy beans and lima beans. Legumes like beans, peas, and lentils are packed with protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. But are they safe for kidney health? Not all of them. If you're managing oxalates and potassium, some beans can be problematic. Navy beans, for example, are high in oxalates, containing 76 milligrams per half cup, and potassium, around 399 milligrams per half cup. Lima beans are even higher, with 955 milligrams of potassium per cup. That's a significant amount for anyone on a low-potassium diet. While kidney beans, navy beans, lima beans, and black beans are high in potassium, there are lower potassium options like mung beans, green beans, and split peas. These can be included in moderation. But can you lower potassium in high-potassium beans through cooking? Yes, but the effect is limited. Boiling beans and soaking them overnight in a large amount of water can help remove some potassium. However, even after soaking and cooking, they still retain a substantial amount. If you have chronic kidney disease, limiting portions rather than completely avoiding beans is usually the best approach. So, should you ignore or limit them? If your potassium levels are high, it's best to limit high-potassium beans and choose lower potassium options. And always check with your doctor or dietitian to see what fits into your diet. Number 7. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are often praised for their nutritional benefits, but are they safe for kidney health? If you are following a low-oxalate diet, sweet potatoes are not the best choice. A 4-ounce serving of cooked sweet potatoes contains 141 milligrams of oxalates, which is far beyond the daily limit of 50 milligrams for a low-oxalate diet. What about potassium? A medium sweet potato contains around 450 milligrams of potassium, which can be problematic for people with chronic kidney disease, CKD. If your doctor has advised you to limit potassium, eating sweet potatoes could increase potassium levels in your blood, leading to complications like hyperkalemia. Are all sweet potatoes bad for your kidneys? While they are naturally high in potassium and oxalates, their potassium content can be reduced. Does cooking help? Yes, but only for potassium. Boiling sweet potatoes and discarding the water can remove 50 to 75% of their potassium content. However, this method does not significantly lower oxalates, meaning they still pose a risk for those managing kidney stones. So, should you avoid or limit sweet potatoes? If you have chronic kidney disease or kidney stones, it's best to avoid them altogether, or eat them in very small amounts after double boiling. Number 8. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is well known for its tart flavor, but is it safe for your kidneys? If you are managing kidney stones or oxalate levels, rhubarb is one of the worst foods you can eat. It contains between 570 to 1,900 milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams, making it an extremely high oxalate food. What about potassium? A 1-cup serving of rhubarb contains around 350 milligrams of potassium, which is a moderate amount. For people with chronic kidney disease, potassium intake needs to be carefully managed. While rhubarb isn't as high in potassium as some other foods, it still adds to your daily intake, which could be an issue if your potassium levels are already elevated. Can you reduce the oxalate content in rhubarb? Yes, but not completely. Some methods can help, like peeling the stalks and boiling rhubarb in plenty of water and discarding the water. However, even after boiling, rhubarb remains a very high oxalate food. So, should you avoid or limit rhubarb? If you have kidney disease or a history of kidney stones, it's best to avoid rhubarb altogether. Even with careful preparation, the oxalate content remains dangerously high. Number 9. Swiss chard. Swiss chard is one of the worst vegetables you can eat. Just half a cup of steamed white-stalked Swiss chard contains 500 milligrams of oxalates, while half a cup of steamed red Swiss chard has over 900 milligrams. And if we talk about potassium, 1 cup of boiled Swiss chard contains 960 milligrams of potassium, meaning half a cup has around 480 milligrams. For people with chronic kidney disease, that's a significant amount and could contribute to high potassium levels. Can cooking lower the oxalate and potassium content? Boiling Swiss chard in plenty of water can reduce some oxalates and potassium, but it does not remove them completely. The oxalate levels in Swiss chard are too high, even after cooking. So, if you have kidney disease or a history of kidney stones, it's best to avoid it altogether. Even small amounts can increase your oxalate and potassium levels, putting your kidneys at risk. Number 10. Eggplant. Eggplant is a popular vegetable, but is it safe for your kidneys? Just 100 grams of raw eggplant contains 190 milligrams of oxalates, making it a very high oxalate food. What about potassium? While eggplant is not as high in potassium as other vegetables, people with chronic kidney disease, CKD, should still watch their intake, especially when eating it with other high potassium foods. Can cooking reduce oxalates in eggplant? Boiling in plenty of water and discarding the water can lower oxalate levels, but it won't eliminate them. Grilling, roasting, or frying does not reduce oxalates and may even concentrate them. Should you avoid or limit eggplant if you have kidney disease? If you are prone to kidney stones, it's safer to avoid it. If you have CKD but no history of stones, small amounts in a balanced diet may be okay, but always check with your doctor. And these are the 10 worst vegetables you must avoid or limit if you have kidney disease. But what about the best vegetables for your kidneys? Let's have a look at them. Number 1. Onions. You might already know onions are great for kidney health, low in potassium, packed with antioxidants, and full of flavor. But what makes them even better? Their ability to add depth to any meal without relying on salt. Quercetin and flavonoids don't just sound fancy. They help reduce inflammation and support heart health, which is crucial for kidney patients. Plus, their fiber content may help manage creatinine levels. So, how do you make the most of onions? Toss them raw into salads or sandwiches for crunch, or sauté them in olive oil to boost the flavor of soups, vegetables, and meats. Number 2. Green beans. Low in oxalates and potassium and packed with fiber, green beans contain only 209 milligrams of potassium per cup, making them a much better choice for kidney patients. While other beans are loaded with oxalates, green beans barely register on the oxalate scale, making them a smarter option if you're managing kidney stones. Want a kidney-friendly way to enjoy green beans? Try garlic and lemon sautéed green beans. Simply sauté fresh green beans in olive oil, add minced garlic, and finish with a squeeze of lemon juice for a light, flavorful side dish. Number 3. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are great for kidney health because they are low in potassium and high in water, helping to flush out toxins and keep the kidneys hydrated. Unlike high-potassium vegetables, cucumbers are a safe option for those managing kidney disease. So, if you are a cucumber lover, try this cucumber cream cheese sandwich. Mix 2 tablespoons cream cheese, 1 tablespoon mayonnaise, and 1/4 teaspoon dry Italian dressing mix, then refrigerate for an hour. Spread on 4 slices of bread, add sliced cucumber, and sprinkle with dill. Cut in half and serve. Each serving has only around 208 milligrams of potassium and 425 milligrams of sodium, making it a kidney-friendly choice. Number 4. Bell peppers. Most people already know that bell peppers are great for kidney health. They're low in potassium and packed with antioxidants and vitamins. But what's a delicious way to enjoy them? Try this kidney-friendly stuffed bell pepper. Cut 2 bell peppers in half and remove the seeds. In a pan, sauté a 1/4 cup of diced onions and 1/2 cup ground turkey until cooked. Add 1/2 cup of cooked rice, a pinch of garlic powder, and a dash of black pepper. Mix well, then stuff the peppers with this filling. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. A tasty, kidney-safe meal with tons of flavor. Number 5. Cabbage. Cabbage is a great kidney-friendly vegetable because it's low in potassium compared to Swiss chard, spinach, or parsnips, which are all high in potassium and oxalates. It also provides fiber, vitamin C, and antioxidants, helping to fight inflammation and support digestion. Important for kidney health. Want a simple way to enjoy it? Try this sautéed cabbage recipe. Thinly slice 2 cups of cabbage. Heat 1 tablespoon olive oil in a pan. Then sauté half a cup of chopped onions until soft. Add cabbage, a pinch of black pepper, garlic powder, and a dash of apple cider vinegar. Cook for 5 to 7 minutes until tender. A perfect low-potassium side dish. But that's not all. Taking care of your kidneys also requires a balanced lifestyle and good habits. Let's explore some of them too. Number 1. Stay hydrated. Drinking enough water helps flush out toxins and prevent kidney stones. However, too much fluid can be harmful if your kidneys are weak. Follow your doctor's advice on fluid intake to avoid fluid buildup. Number 2. Control your blood pressure. High blood pressure damages kidneys over time. Keep it in check with a low-sodium diet, regular exercise, and stress management. Number 3. Limit high-potassium foods. Watch out for bananas, potatoes, oranges, and spinach, and choose low-potassium alternatives like cabbage and green beans. Number 4. Reduce sodium intake. Too much salt causes fluid buildup and raises blood pressure. Use herbs and spices instead of salt, and avoid processed foods. Number 5. Eat more kidney-friendly proteins. Instead of red meat, go for lean chicken, fish, tofu, or egg whites to reduce kidney strain. Number 6. Maintain a healthy weight. Obesity increases the risk of kidney disease. Eat balanced meals, exercise, and avoid sugary drinks to keep a healthy weight. Number 7. Monitor blood sugar levels. Diabetes is a leading cause of kidney disease. Control your carb intake and check your blood sugar levels regularly. Number 8. Avoid excessive painkillers. Overuse of NSAIDs like ibuprofen and naproxen can harm kidneys. Use them only when necessary and ask your doctor for alternatives. Number 9. Get regular checkups. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or a family history of kidney disease, try to do routine kidney function tests. Number 10. Quit smoking and limit alcohol. Smoking reduces blood flow to the kidneys, while alcohol dehydrates them. Both can speed up kidney damage, so cut back or quit. And there you have it. Top 10 worst vegetables that can be bad for kidney patients. However, that doesn't mean you should avoid them altogether. Instead, choose 1 or 2 that suit your taste and health needs and enjoy them in moderation. But that's not all. Remember, kidney health is closely linked to diabetes and overall metabolic balance. Managing blood sugar levels plays a huge role in protecting your kidneys from long-term damage. For more tips on maintaining kidney function and better diabetes management, be sure to check out our other channel, Health for Diabetics.